Hey everybody, this is Calvin Waite. I trade crypto for a living. I'm not a registered or licensed financial advisor, planner, or broker, so nothing on this channel should be taken as a recommendation to buy or sell. I also trade all of these things, so I probably have a vested interest in there. But there's plenty of entertainment value and lots of education, so this will be awesome. For those of you who didn't know, my subscription channel is live. So look at the link in the description over at cryptoinfluencers.com and you can see how I make all of my trades and what I do and what I think about everything. This channel is for more hypothetical and looking at trends, and the other one is for actual trading, so you might be interested in that. All right, it is Wednesday and we are live. So awesome. We love Wednesdays around here. So awesome, good. Dilemma's here. That means things are working. Good, good, good. All right. Well, before we get started, I just wanted to remind you. Remind you that cryptoinfluencers.com is my home base. This is the free channel right here. And this is the paid one if you're curious or interested in that. And without much more introduction, let's just jump right into the charts. So this is pretty interesting. So what we're looking at here, I've got Bitcoin on top, I've got Ethereum in the middle, and the S&P on bottom. And just looking at our price action, ever since the, pre-market was about, markets open at 14:30, so we have a little bit of pre-market in. Oh, I guess it's 13:30 now because of daylight savings, so that's why we're a little bit sideways. So I don't know. It's funny that we do these live streams on Wednesday because it seems like every Wednesday is like the most emotional day of the entire week for some reason. There's always some major announcement. Markets are always insane. So I have no idea what happened like 15 to 20 minutes ago, why the S&P just decided to go up, 30 points or whatever. Just weird stuff. So I'm not sure if it's better to be live on an emotional day so I can kind of chill everyone out, or if if we should let some of this die down and then we can just talk about what's actually happening rather than pausing like, what the crap is happening now? All right. So anyway, so markets are a little bit down. Let's move off of this and just look at Bitcoin on the daily. And let me ask you, is Bitcoin bullish? Is it bullish? Well, this entire time we have been watching this bottom formation play out, and we've been waiting for some kind of a pullback, which we absolutely got, and now we're reaching up into higher ranges. The world seems to be there just seems to be a lot of panic out there, but I don't see it. Not in this Bitcoin chart. This looks pretty unbelievable. All we need to do to really, really take off is get a weekly close above the 50-week moving average. This is where we just rejected, and now we are above it intra-week. So if I go to weekly, we are there. We're moving from the yellow zone ends when we get a close above the 50-week moving average. And we had a very ugly close yesterday. There's no question about it. Having a massive top candle like this is not great as far as, this will put the brakes on an upward move really fast. But I think we should really think about this and talk through what's happening. Look at this. So when we hit 25,000 for the first time up here, right up, this is 25,000. So just a little above 25,000, we had, a 6-month or 8-month period of time where we were trading below this. And the longer the longer you are below a level, especially on a critical swinging level, you're going to have a lot of shorts building up on top of this. And then when you come up here, and especially after you've recently rejected against it, there's going to be more piled on. So we have a ton of shorts right between 25 to 25.5, somewhere in here. This is where everyone's stop losses are on their shorts, or they're looking to go short. And so everyone's got a whole bunch of resistance trades right up in this area. And what we did yesterday, as bearish as it is to have a candle that just blows up like this and just loses all of its momentum, the reason it got so high so fast is because of a short squeeze. We squeezed a ton of these shorters out of their position, and the shorts that actually intended to be short, they actually benefited because they hit their shorts and then now we're down. But you know, there are times when you have a top candle that spikes us up that's bearish, and there are times when it actually paves the way for us. So I'm actually not unhappy about this. We went through and we cleared out a whole bunch of resistance and a whole bunch of shorts, and now at this point we can kind of move, you know, after we do a consolidation, which is necessary after a move like this, the next time we get up into the 25 and 26,000 land, the bulls are going to be piling on rather than having a bunch of shorts or resistance up here. So this is actually a good thing. And so we're closer than ever to a really, really bullish scenario. Well, look at Ethereum. Ethereum, it had probably an uglier, yeah, we had our pullback is worse. But look at this. We just exited our yellow zone, and now we're trading above the 50. We're in a green zone, and this candle still has 5 hours, but I am not unhappy about this candle. We reached all the way down. It was close enough. Our 50 is here at 1606, 1605, and our low on the day was at 1611. This is close enough to say, okay, we've broken the 50. We've come back and held the 50 as support. We're kind of, you know, saying our final goodbyes. I'm telling you, this market is ready to explode. It looks so good. So we are, you know, we have a little bit of time where we've broken down. So yeah, let me just explain it this way. So when we broke above the 50 back here, we came back and touched it as support. So that's confirmation that we're still moving up. Then we touched it again, and then we touched it too frequently. We started really getting too much on there, and then we broke down. It took us a large candle to get through it, and then we dropped back. And this move I've already talked about. This is unbelievably bullish. Super awesome reversal candle off the bottom here. And that launched us up through, and it took us another big candle to get onto the other side of it. Well, the ideal situation is that we will hit it as support one last time and then start moving up into this upper ranges. If we get back up to 1700, we are going to be ready to go because the 50 is here. The 50 week is here. Our next move is going to take us all the way up to here, 24. This is going to be awesome. So I'm very excited. Saying, you know, tipping our hat at the 50 day on the other side of this is perfectly fine. And why wouldn't we after a close like this? Big long resistance candle pushing us down, giving us some resistance. So we're coming down, we hit some support, we're turning around. I'm telling you, the next time we see 1700, this is just a pressure cooker. It's gonna blow out. So yeah, same with Bitcoin. You cannot, you know, when you have this much bullishness and it took so much effort to get this to turn back around, and then the second we finally got a couple of solid points of support in place, boom, 3 days later, we're way back up right where we were. There are some hungry bulls in here. So it is awesome. You know, if we just kept going up, you know, having 8% days every day for like 5 days in a row, then things are going to get really ugly. You don't want to get up here just to come all the way back. If you go up too fast, then you create these really ugly tops, and it'll take months and months to overcome that. So if we were going to come back at all, it's good that we just kind of did it here, and then we can get a little bit of consolidation, because we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. What we really want to do is take, measured progress steps across our 50 and across our 200 on the weekly. If we can do both of those things, there's nothing standing in the way. And in Bitcoin's case, it'll be 34,400. It might drop a little bit. So we'll probably say like 33 or 34,000 is the target once we get a weekly close above our 200. So this is going to happen. We are fully in reversal mode. And one other thing that's very, very clear, you can see this. Let me just draw it so you can see it. Look what we have here. Just as clear as a bell. Look at this reverse head and shoulders we have. Because this wick brought us right down. It is like magic, I'm telling you. This is really pretty. Look at that reverse head and shoulders at the bottom of this, and this is on the weekly. The target on something like this is, so it's an $8,000 move from where we started. So $8,000 added to our neckline here. 8,000 is here. 32. So we have between 34 and 32. This is the target. It is beautiful. I just can't even tell you. So yeah, having a couple days. I mean, alts are just getting murdered right now. So things are, there's some discomfort in the market still that we still have to kind of work through. But a lot of that is Bitcoin dominance. Look at Bitcoin dominance way up here. So the total value of all crypto, 45.69% of all dollars and value across the board, including stable coins and everything. 45.69 is Bitcoin. And it's in its gathering market share. The bigger our crypto total, so this is our total market cap. So the total market cap's worth $1 trillion. And if Bitcoin dominance makes up 46% of that, that's a pretty large percentage. And that means that every percentage that you move is a giant amount. It's like a huge amount, $100 billion, or excuse me, $10 billion, move of money into Bitcoin versus the others. So that means Bitcoin's going up faster or down slower. So alts are getting absolutely killed right now. But I don't expect this to last long. Historically, especially in the recent past, I just don't see us getting to 50%. I just don't. So even if Bitcoin gets really excited and gets on a big strong move, I wouldn't think we get 2% more out of Bitcoin's Bitcoin dominance, and then the rest of the market's going to heat up. Because if Bitcoin gets sustained above its breaking points, if we get a sustained move up in this blue sky area up here, like practically price discovery area, the rest of the market is going to move with it. And so those are the things we're looking forward to. This whole thing's going to be awesome. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. There's just a lot of reasons to be bullish right now. This move really cements it, because let me just check. Sometimes it's interesting to look at things in a different way. You can actually invert a chart. Let me just say, if you were long on a chart that looked like this, would you be nervous? Yeah, I'd be nervous. So you can invert the chart and you can just see how, pretend like we had gone up and muscled through all these levels, and then we really started going sideways. We really, really struggled. And then we kind of had one final attempt and it just didn't quite materialize and we fell back. And now we're struggling to hold the few levels that we were at before. And we're already trading down here among the very last levels of support. Like this I'd be like, this is looking ugly. So if you invert the chart, it kind of can give you another view on what's happening. This looks like it's about ready to fall. And so when you put it back right side up, it's like we're about ready to launch. It's kind of an interesting thing. All right, let's take a look. So Brent says, hi, Calvin. Jake, yo, yo, yo. Peppy Kite says, hello. That's awesome. Dean says, I don't see where I can buy it on Humble's ETX. Humble ETX is no more. That's not a thing I'm doing. What I am doing, though, is the subscription channel. If you want to learn how to trade and actually make some money, that's the point of that channel. And things are going to get pretty awesome in the next few weeks, believe me. Pepe says, this was the entry you were looking for. Did you take it? Yeah, I am long right here. I am. Oh, were you asking about, maybe you were asking about Bitcoin pulling back. Because of the alts and the shape of my portfolio, I'm actually being a little bit more patient on Bitcoin. I have a position, but I haven't completely upped it to the level I want until everything really gets going. So I'm gonna let Ethereum break this this top level here. I'll do it on Ethereum so you can see. Yeah, once we get above 17 or 18 and we get a weekly close above our 50 and the market's really getting obvious, then I'll be upping my Bitcoin position to the full amount that I was intending on. Jake says, is Bitcoin bullish? As S&P looks to nosedive, I'm having a hard time believing that Bitcoin will not follow suit. Yeah, it is true. I mean, there is a lot of pressure from the S&P. And the S&P looks a little interesting, doesn't it? So the daily breakout and confirmation is probably wrecked. This chart is not doing it. I'm gonna take these off because that did not materialize at all. But the weekly is hanging on by its fingernails. So this is what the weekly looks like. The weekly, we have resistance, we have a turnaround for support, and if you slip below a line and you recover it in the next candle, you can. It's still intact, but it's barely intact. So if I change this from a candles chart to a line chart, you can see this. So you've got your top, you've got resistance, 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 and then breakout. And then we come back and we've hit it as support. We're right on the line. So if we don't close at or above the line, which on the SPY is like 387, 387.5, somewhere in here, and then start moving up, this line will be invalidated. So especially a close below this would probably throw us out for sure. But I'm still not quite convinced that the S&P is completely toast. There's a lot of ugly stuff out there, but if the Fed changes their minds about raising interest rates, and in fact they start stimulating the economy because of banks, if the problem with the banks is that they took on all of these bonds when interest rates were low, and then they raised rates and just destroyed the price of bonds, and that's kind of the main problem with the banking crisis. Well, the way to save the banks would be to lower interest rates again. And so if the Fed decides to save the banks at the expense of inflation, then that'll stimulate the entire economy. So this actually might play out that the S&P becomes bullish, even with all that fundamental news out there. So the technicals, they haven't fallen apart yet on the weekly. The daily, there's a case that it's probably not quite going to hold on. But if the weekly stays intact, this could completely turn around. We have a couple of other support levels to watch for. One is our 200-week moving average, which is below us. And then we have our 50-month moving average moving up as well. So if we lose both of those, then yeah, I'd say we're toast. we're definitely looking for it. But I hate to be too hasty. My kind of my mantra is, in markets, for every action there is an equal and opposite overreaction. And the more you overreact, the more you lose money. You get scared out of a position, you over trade, you overbuy, you buy too big of positions. Over, you're going to get killed. If you underreact, undertrade, undersize your risk, you're gonna do great. And that's how this all works. So I'm in the boat of, let's not overreact. Let's be, let's be measured about this. When the facts are screaming in your face, then you adjust. But until you have lots and lots of confluence, it's hard to shake my point of view. But yeah, it's tough. It's definitely it's a balance for sure. We got some spam on Facebook. Thank you for that. Roz Palmer, appreciate your work. Thank you. Your hidden channel is a gem, or your channel is a hidden gem. Awesome. Thank you. Ali says, you mean the Bitcoin will get up? That's what I'm expecting. I just don't see us spending much more time in these levels. The market and the technical reason for it, I mean, there's plenty, right? Reverse head and shoulders is pretty technical. That's one of the highest percent breakout moves that you could ask for. But what we really have is a full change in momentum. High, lower, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, and now higher low. We have both. We have a higher high and a higher low. This is the definition of a momentum shift. We are shifting. So I am way bullish. I'm so bullish. I can't even tell you. I have a lot of expectation that we're on the way up. And it's just purely based on the shape of this. This is exactly what I would buy 100 times. We had another one of these. Look at this. This is back in the day. If I could get this. Wow, you really have to get right on it, don't you? Look at this. We did the same thing back. So in 2018 or 2019, we hit our bottom. We got overheated, so there was no chart structure here. But then we totally did this. Not the prettiest. Well, actually, we have wicks. We have wicks to start us off. So we had a wick up here. Excuse me, over here. Here's our bottom down here. And this is our wick to the top. And then we had a very low tail. And then we came all the way back up to it. It's a little uneven. Not as pretty. But look at this. Look at this just unbelievable chart structure here. Because we had this reverse head and shoulders that happened before. And then we broke out, came back and tagged it as just confirmed the breakout, and then straight into our bull market. Yeah, this is how these things work. I would not be surprised if we blew up, hit our 30,000, 34,000, came back down and found support back at 25. Like, I could see this being really emotional for people. And then doing some sideways moves, whatever the structure looks like, we'll just analyze it as it comes. But then we start moving up towards the halving. But we've seen this before. These things, we've had these things play out, and we're right there. In fact, we have an intra-week breakout. So we need a close to confirm a break on the top of this. So that's why getting out of the yellow zone. I mean, there's just so many things. There's so many reasons why we would be bullish. Exiting the yellow zone on the weekly is unbelievably bullish. We've got a reverse head and shoulders, which is super bullish. Full change in momentum. it's just built into this shape. Like, it's just unbelievable. So in the meantime, things are a little bit down, but oh man, yeah, just wait. It's literally 7 to 14 days away that we should be in an upper range up here, in my opinion. So that's what I'm talking about. Hi, Calvin. This is from Dougie. Will ETH take on a life of its own? If so, when and what? And will the relationships and price action look like? So the ETH to Bitcoin ratio right now is getting destroyed. Let's look at this thing. Yeah. Well, you know, it's not the end of the world. We've definitely seen worse. I was watching it on the daily. The weekly shows it pretty clearly too, though. Right here to right here. Yeah, there's actually on the weekly there's a lot more time, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 touches on this line. So this is a pretty strong situation. So I mean, right now we're slipping below our 100-week moving average on the Bitcoin Ethereum. And this line is absolutely flat. So the 50 is going sideways. What that means is that the 100s is going to go sideways very soon. 4 weeks from now, the 100 is going to be averaging right up in here, and it should be going sideways. So everything's going to be sideways. There's no downward pressure here. It's just, we've just consolidated in a major way. But the motion in this chart is to the upside. If there's a downward pressure and an upward pressure, it's the steeper of the two that is the greater than 50% scenario. So how steeply we're rising on this bottom versus how, you know, I don't even think there's well, there might be a line here. There could be. Yeah, so this is coming down. So how shallow this is coming down, there's more pressure to the upside than down. That's how this usually plays out. So yeah, but if we break out of this, Ethereum's going to absolutely own this thing. And why would I be cheering for Ethereum? I mean, yeah, sure, there's a slightly greater than 50% chance, but the chance that large institutions will go adopt Ethereum is pretty high. When people are scared of the banks, I can see them moving to Bitcoin since it's so established, and there's a lot of safety in Bitcoin, probably more, because in Ethereum there is some censorship, but with Bitcoin there is none. So that is definitely a flight to safety. But if things chill out and people are looking at it purely from a dollars and cents, and where do I put my institutional dollars and earn an interest rate and all kinds of stuff, like that's very attractive to institutions, then they would be going to Ethereum. And then add to that the fact that it's deflationary. We've lost 65,000 Ethereum in burns. So our money supply has dropped by 65,000 since the merge. So this is also a deflationary currency. Even though Bitcoin's capped at 21 million, there is still inflation as new coins come online. We still have another inflation to go of like 1.5 million Bitcoin. Most of it's mined, but there is still some that trickle out every 10 minutes as miners collect their reward. So from a fundamental, from a practicality, from interest rate, which helps larger institutions value money, there's a lot of fundamental reasons why Ethereum really could get going. Once a lot of the fears around banks and safety is not quite on the forefront of people's minds, I could see so much money going into Ethereum. So ideally, you want to be exposed to both, and I will be like 50-50 on both of those. But yeah, right now I've got a pretty decent position in Ethereum just because I've been, I feel like it's definitely a faster horse for now. So that's what's going on there. Ali says, I've lost a lot. That's why I'm afraid to invest more. Yeah. That's what the pro channel's for. I sit and I kind of teach you how to keep your positions small, keep your emotions at bay, and just kind of talk through being patient through difficult times. You can be upside down for quite a while, and it's still a good trade. You just have to be patient and wait for that market to come to you. The more you overreact, the more you win and lose, and it's hard to know, all of the efforts that you're making, whether it's actually productive. And me, I like to set up orders, put in exits, and wait forever. And then suddenly the market becomes an ATM rather than this big emotional casino. Dougie says, as a member of your pro channel, my ways of looking at the markets, charting and trading have both transformed. I'm loving it. So much appreciation in regards to you. Pro channel recommended. Thanks, Dougie. That's awesome, man. I mean, it's not easy. Even in the pro channel, we're not just sitting there kicking our feet up, just making money and loving every little minute of our lives. We're still dealing with all the emotions of the market, and we're still dealing with exposure. And it's a constant reminder to keep our own positions small enough that we can manage through things. But man, just wait. Once this bull market gets started, it is going to be fun. And it is going to be awesome. So if you're curious, you can certainly join us. All right, guys, that is pretty much everything I had to talk about. We are getting there. Every single week, we're getting closer. And some of the price action that we've seen in Bitcoin most recently is so encouraging. We're off of our swing low. We tagged the 20 for support. We double confirmed on our falling wedge. We're now trading above our 50-week moving average. We have 4 days and 5 hours to go. We had a really ugly daily top. So if we can go sideways or kind of chop sideways or whatever until the end of the week, it's just going to be so golden. It's going to be awesome. How do you define a small position size? So if you go to like investing.com and you search for position size, it'll tell you that most fund managers invest less than 1% of their total portfolio in a single position. So that's how I define it. I define it as being smaller than 1% of your total portfolio. With Bitcoin and Ethereum, I make an exception because these move slower. But especially on something as volatile as altcoins and stuff, where they're just up and down 10 and 20% in a day, yeah, you're going to sleep at night a lot better if you've got a real small position. And normally, you'd want probably less than 0.5% of your portfolio in a position. So, yeah, that's how I would define small size. So, yeah, a lot to look forward to. We're getting there. This bear market is wrapping up. The red zone ended here, January 1st, 2023. And then we had a yellow zone for a couple of days, and we've been going up this year. And now we hit our first green zone since, November of last year, when we were back up at 60,000. We're finally getting to green and yellow zones. Green and yellow zones are the starts of the bull market. If I just zoom out, you can just see it clear as day. Once you stop seeing red and you start seeing green and yellows, man, you're moving. Same thing here. We had a little period of green or reds and yellows here, but then back in all the way up to the top. So if we're starting back in on greens and yellows, man, there's just a lot of indication that we're here. All right, guys, thanks for joining me. It's always fun to talk about Bitcoin and get some feedback and see some questions and stuff. It's awesome. We'll wrap it up here, and we will catch you on the next one. Thanks for joining me, guys. Thanks for making it to the end of my video. Make sure you keep those trades small. Don't force a trade. Don't get impatient. And if you want to see how all this works, please come over and check me out on the subscription channel at cryptoinfluencers.com. Again, the link is in the description.